When in your life, obviously you were just telling your story, when in your life was football, did you say football was the thing I want to commit to the most over the other sports that you were playing? When was it that prominent as saying I want to be this big football player?
I started taking football serious. I've been playing since I've been 4. My dad always had me in football, boxing, basketball, but me, like, I always, like, had the passion to play football in the NFL. I always watch it. But I started taking it serious, say, about, like, 12, 13 years old. At first, I didn't take it serious. I thought everything was supposed to be handed to me. But in life, it's not. You got to work for what you want. So started getting serious, working out, getting in the gym with my dad, because, he trained me. And then since then, we just been going up every year. Like, I came in as a freshman at the school I'm in, automatically got a captain spot. I earned it 10th grade year, 11th grade year. Like, every year I'm going up.
As you guys know, we are talking to Vanderbilt defensive tackle recruit Terion Sugick. Now, I look at the game and the NFL, the style of game, completely different from the NCAA. And what I see about the NCAA, especially in the SEC, is the talent. The talent. You look at, especially in this year's draft, how many SEC players were drafted in the first round? I would say more than half, about 20 people, 20 athletes, 20 football players were drafted in the first round from all the other different leagues. So
And I think LSU had 14 players overall drafted.
I'm talking about in the first round.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just the first round. Was that a big reason why you took an SEC team from all the other different leagues that you could have went and played for that was recruiting you?
That played a big part as well. I mean, me and my dad, we talk numbers every day. Numbers do matter at the end of the day. So, SEC each year, they at the top every year. Most players drafted, no matter what the team is. Most players drafted in the SEC. So, me, I'm kind of spoke on it. Why not go somewhere where I'm going to play, and then they're going to see me, and then I'm going to be up there.
Well, you just remember you got to dance, man. Every time you get a sack, I want to see a little shimmy. I want to see some personality. I want to see some personality.
Oh yeah, I got something.
I want to see some personality, because if you're gonna average 7, 8, 9, 10 sacks every single season, my friend, I want to see the Terion Shuffle or something like that. I want to see something that you could bring to the NFL and bring personality, because that's what I want to see. All these athletes that we talk to, and we talk to a ton of them, and the one thing I preach to all these athletes is, you want to make money, you want to come to the promising big cities, especially here in New York, all you got to do is sell who you are. If you're a real dude and you're going to go out there and give personality and give professionalism while you're doing it, not the Odell Beckham lifting your leg and taking a you-know-what on a logo, but just being your personality, being yourself, and being professional. Guys like you, we need in the NFL. We need guys to present a city, a legacy for what defensive players should be and could be in the future in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
So, Terion, one of the more controversial rules in college football has been the targeting rule, and it's, again, gotten a lot of defensive players ejected from the game, suspended from the next, and a lot of the times it's wrongfully done. And do you think they should definitely change that rule, or do you think they're doing it for player safety purposes and they should keep it as it is?
They're doing it for safety reasons, but I remember, one point, you could crack back somebody, it's not a penalty now, you do it, you out the game. Targeting happens, but they protecting people so they can last longer. But at the end of the day, I think they're making the game a little bit too soft, a little bit too soft.
Well, I do. I agree with you. I especially with some of the rules in the NFL, it's crazy. I don't understand it. Now they're trying to take rules out that they implemented in last year. It's crazy how the NFL is trying to reconstruct a league and a sport that really has been around for over 100 years and has been played the same way. And now all of a sudden, in the last 10 years, I understand the whole CTE thing. I agree with the situation on how to try to protect the players, but I disagree on the way they're doing it with some of these implemented rules that affect the game. As you guys know, we are talking to Vanderbilt defensive tackle recruit Terion Sugick. Now, what team did you root for growing up? And if there is a particular team that in the future, and I know you're playing high school ball right now and you're going to be in college this coming year, is there a particular team that you grew up a fan of? Why were you a fan of that team? And is there a particular team or teams that you're interested in playing for in the future?
I mean, I grew up liking actually the Carolina Panthers because I met Cam Newton before he came to my birthday before when I was younger. So I liked that team because he was there. But me, I mean, I'm from Maryland, so it wouldn't be no problem me playing with the Washington Redskins. It wouldn't be no problem. Like, I want to come back home and play for them because I'm from here. It's like, why not?
Well, just remember, it's not the Washington Redskins anymore. It's the Washington football team. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Oh, man. Go ahead.
All right. So, being a Washington football team fan, what name do you want them to change it to, if you've thought of that?
I've got one.
Oh, what you say? Repeat it for me?
I was going to say, you being a fan of the Washington football team growing up there, obviously we want to know what this new name's going to be. What would you name it if it was in your control?
I mean, if I was to name it, I wouldn't have named it football team. We all know it's a football team. But I would have named it probably. They were talking about Washington monuments and stuff like that. I don't see nothing wrong with that, but Washington football team, we know it's a football team. They should have thought about that a little bit more before they did that.
I got one. You ready? I'm going to help all the Washington fans out in a year's time when they change their name from Washington football team. They're going to call them the Washington Killer Bees. How's that sound? You have a bunch of bees flying around their helmets. What, you don't like that? You don't like that, Speedy?
I'm not against it.
Killer bees. There's nothing in a league with the bee, so let's call them the Killer Bees.
That is true.
So, if you need some honey, you go to Washington. You got that one. You got it. I know you got it. If you want some honeys, go to Washington. There you go. Anyways, as you guys know, we are talking to Vanderbilt defensive tackle recruit Terion Sugick.
In terms of the nose tackle position specifically, or run-stopping defensive tackles, a lot of them get discredited when it comes to awards in terms of milestones because they don't get the pass rushing numbers that a lot of the pass rushing defensive tackles, and that includes in terms of the Hall of Fame. We've argued a lot of nose tackles that could get in. I know Errol's brought up Joe Klecko in the past. Guys that like Haloni Nada. Do you think they deserve more recognition when it comes to Pro Bowls and all-pro statuses, even if they don't get the stats just because of what they do in terms of being important to their defense?
I think they need more recognition because they're taking on probably about 700, 800 pounds. Talking about a nose tackle, taking on double teams almost the whole game. So what do you expect them to do? They're going to get numbers, but it's not going to be ridiculous numbers. They're going to do their job. You can expect one person to always beat 2 to 3 people to play. It's not going to happen.
As you guys know, we are talking to Vanderbilt defensive tackle recruit Terion Sugick. And the reason why I keep repeating that, because I want people to know, because as you pop on our feed, I want people to know who you are. So that's why I'm doing that.
You got 5 in a row in the pronunciations, though.
I'm pretty good, man. I'm figuring out the names. I'll tell you this. I am the worst when it comes to names. I've said this over and over again. I will murder somebody's name. I'm surprised I don't murder my own name. I hate when people call me Earl, okay? I hate when I have recruits coming, and they before we get them on the show, they come on, and I'm talking to them on the phone, and say, "What's going on, Earl?" And I say, "My name is not Earl. It's Errol. Pronounce it right." And then I get them on, and I can't pronounce their name. So figure that one out. So it doesn't work. But when you look at you as a person in the locker room, are you a comic? Are you a comedian? Are you a guy that people flourish to, or are people that thrive to you because of your personality? Are you a quiet person? You're a quiet assassin. What type of person are you in the locker room?
Me in the locker room, I can have my time. I'm motivation. Say one of my friends, they not doing too good. I talk to them, tell them they need to do. But then on the other hand, I can get turned to in the locker room. I like getting turned for the game because that's what that's what makes me play hard, like play better. I can't go out and fly, so that's how I'm gonna start the game. Or like I'm just turned and I'm a motivation person. I mean, I don't never talk down on my teammates because that's not gonna make them play better.
Well, if you need a mascot, if Vanderbilt needs a mascot, I'm trying to slowly but surely push this guy out to be a mascot. He needs a job, and if you can find him a way to get him a job for Vanderbilt and wear whatever costume you need him to wear, well, he's your guy, man. He is your guy.
So now I'm going to be the mascot for two different teams.
Well,
what would happen?
Marcus Bradley told me that they don't need a mascot, so maybe Terion would get you a job over there. Maybe get you a couple dollars. Maybe you make $10 an hour or something.
I'm just wondering. Now, if there is a scenario where Maryland and Vanderbilt in the future play a neutral site game, which mascot would I go for?
I would say I would go with the SEC team because they have a better chance of winning.
All right. Just clearing that up because Errol's trying to throw me around with different jobs. Meanwhile, Errol has, with all these recruits, 6 different jobs with all the recruits between personal trainers and agents and coaches. So just making sure we know where we're going with this.
Well, I'm trying to help myself here.
So, Terion, is in any level of football, have you ever had a play where you lined up in an exotic package, whether it's an offensive play, like you lined up as a running back or a fullback, a tight end, or a defensive play where you got an interception or a fumble recovery touchdown? Has there been ever you had a crazy play like that? And if so, describe it.
Actually, for my high school, played fullback too a little bit. I say one of my crazy touchdowns probably was 10th grade year. It was homecoming. Quarterback snapped the ball. We fumbled it, picked it up. I juked about 6 people, trucked somebody that dived in the end zone.
And did you do a dance? Oh, come on. What did you do? What kind of dance did you do when you scored that touchdown? Come on. You had to do something.
I was jumping. I was just hyped. Because I wasn't expecting to get the ball.